participants can be made. So participants can get a chat box. Meeting will start for the afternoon.
Good morning, dear participants. We will start the meeting sharp at 11 o'clock. Shall we start the program?
Shall we start, ma'am?
Yeah.
Are all set?
Yeah.
Everyone is fine, right? Okay.
1 minute.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, fine.
Good morning, dear participants. Welcome to day 3 of the international webinar series on COVID-19, Facing Challenges with Optimism, the faculty development program organized by the PG and Research Department of Historical Studies. I'm Joan Ruby, coordinator, and I welcome Dr. K. Vijaya, convener of the FDP and head PG and Research Department of Historical Studies, Dr. P. Sumabala, moderator and assistant professor, PG and Research Department of Historical Studies. Our resource person for the day is dietitian Uma Maheshwari PS, clinical nutritionist, Happy Living Diet Clinic, Vietnam. Dear participants, kindly note, repeating the instructions of yesterday, your audio and video will be muted throughout the session. You can communicate with us at any time through the chat box. The session with dietitian Uma Maheshwari will be followed by a question and answer session for which you can raise questions through the chat box. It will be moderated by Dr. P. Sumabala. Do not at any time press request to speak as there are only presenters allowed in the session. Another point to be noted, please fill your feedback forms carefully. Some of you have forgotten to even add your names. We have enabled edit option for all forms for that particular day. So kindly check and correct it. Thank you. To start off, I request Dr. K. Vijaya, convener of the FDP, to welcome and introduce the speaker.
Thank you, Ruby, the coordinator of the program. Very pleasant morning to everyone present here. On behalf of the PG and Research Department of Historical Studies of Qaida Millat Government College for Women, I extend a hearty welcome to all the participants for the third day session of this FDP program on COVID-19, Facing Challenges with Optimism. I want to thank Dr. Deepa Mohan, Head Department of Epidemiology, Morgan Diabetes Research Center, Chennai, for having introduced our today's resource person. அளவான உணவை அமிர்தமென அருந்து அளவாக உண்டால் அதுவே மருந்து. The groundwork for all happiness is health. This will be proved by our today's resource person, dietitian P.S. Uma Maheshwari, in her lecture on nutrition and immunity. Dietitian Uma Maheshwari is a renowned clinical nutritionist running Happy Living Diet Clinic in Vietnam, which has been established with the principal objective of converting nutrition knowledge into action for the benefit of community. Dr. Uma Maheshwari started her career as senior lecturer in the Department of Food Science and Nutrition in Tasim Bibi Abdul Qadir College for Women, Kilakarai. Later on, she rendered service as tutor cum dietitian in Kasturiba Gandhi Nursing College, Puducherry. Thereafter, she headed Department of Dietetics in Sri Manakula Vinayagar Medical College and Hospital, Puducherry. She also worked as senior dietitian in Body Care Slimming Center and Manipal Hospitals, Bangalore. She also served as part-time consultant nutritionist at Manipal and also in Bangalore. She served as consultant nutritionist at Manipal Ankur Fertility Center and Fortis, Bangalore. After serving as a renal dietitian in the Department of Nephrology and Urology, she has been practicing as freelance clinical nutritionist under the name Happy Living Diet Clinic in Vietnam. Her achievements are laudable, with a rich experience in formulating personalized diets relating to renal nutrition, infertility nutrition, weight management, gastritis, diabetes management. She has also practiced and specialized in developing and standardizing healthy recipes, organize and handle workshops, seminars, webinars, and also different event management programs relating to health and nutrition. She is a speaker in various symposiums on dietary management, on diabetes, hypertension, and protein energy malnutrition. In a nutshell, I can say, Murthy Siridhendralum Kirti Perisu. Our resource person has co-authored books for renal nutrition titled Nutritional Secrets Volume 1 and 2. She has also published research papers on impact of medical nutrition therapy and selected gestational dietetics in national and international journals. She is allotting most of her time in writing articles and blogs on nutrition health. நோய் எதிர்ப்பு சக்தியை உயர்த்தி கொரில்லா யுத்தம் செய்யும் கொரோனாவை வீழ்த்தி வெற்றி பெறும் இந்த மானுட சக்தி. நோய் எதிர்ப்பு சக்தியை வீழ்த்தி கொரில்லா யுத்தம் செய்யும் கொரோனாவை வீழ்த்தி வெற்றி பெறும் இந்த மானுட சக்தி. That is the mantra of our today's resource person. With these 2 words, let me welcome dietitian Ms. P.S. Uma Maheshwari to take over the session. Thank you.
Namaste, everyone. Thanks for the warm welcome, Dr. Vijaya. So, how are you all doing in this COVID-19 lockdown? Are you all enjoying? In Vietnam, we had lockdown for 4 months. 4 huge months. Unexpectedly, schools closed and everything closed. You know, we didn't get anything. And hunting for Indian food in Vietnam is a difficult task. And in that case, when there is a lockdown, we had to store things. And it had its own difficulties, but the whole family enjoyed. So I saw, 4 months of nutrition, healthy nutrition to my kids. I saw them growing both psychologically and they increase their immunity. They decrease the frequency of causing cold, cough, fever, which is very usual one when the kids go to school, right? So I want to share my experiences and what I followed to my family so that the whole community will be benefited. Why do you need to talk about immunity now? COVID is around. And do you have any solution? No, not yet. No medications have been found yet. But you can prevent it by doing one thing, social distancing, which we are already doing. But the researchers says that people who are having strong immunity have a lot of chances to recover faster. Thus, we need to build our immunity. It's a God-given opportunity for all of us to improve immunity and to build our health. So, and in this presentation, as ma'am already stated, my goal is bringing the nutritional knowledge into practicality. It's not, ஏட்டு சொரக்காய் கறிக்கு உதவாது. I want to break that. So I'm going to give you simple tips which will be readily followable, easily followable at home in your day-to-day life to increase the immunity of the entire family. I welcome one and all to listen to me. Let's go into the presentation. Nutrition and immunity. Nutrition, the term you hear nutrition, she's going to say eat salad, eat raw food, don't cook. No, my logo, please look at my logo. My logo has cooked food, cooked hot steaming food, which means hot food, steaming food, deliciously prepared food can increase your health and immunity. Why do you want to have immunity? What is immunity? So we saw why you need immunity. Now let's look into what is immunity. Immunity is the ability of the body or an organism to defend itself from the diseases. And we also come across the term immune system, which is none other than our body's army to fight against the antigens. That is the germs which is attacking our body. So we need to know few things before we go into detail. We have to look into types of immunity. Okay. First thing is innate immunity. Innate immunity is when a child is born, it is born with a particular type of, with few types of antibodies, so that which is inbuilt, I would like to say in that way. So which is inbuilt immunity from birth is called as innate immunity. When you fall sick, as you grow up, you fall sick, you catch cold, fever, you develop many diseases like typhoid. And in that, once the organism goes inside, your body starts producing antibodies to defend against that foreign organism. So that time you develop a particular immunity that is called as adaptive immunity. But sometimes even that adaptive immunity doesn't help. You get IV antibiotics, or you get antibiotics in the form of the tablet. So when the antibodies that are formed inside our body is not sufficient, you will get the direct IV. And that is the passive immunity. Passive immunity is also obtained through breastfeeding from the breast milk to the newborn baby. Okay, now we know what is immunity. And you have some idea, like, you have to eat something to get the immunity. So what is the actual relationship? Where does it start? Where do you think that the nutrition is required to build immunity? You won't believe, it's right from the time of consumption. We give lot of healthy food to the mother, pregnant mother. Why? It helps in the growth of the child. Plus, it builds immunity in the child. So from the time of consumption, your body starts building immunity, your innate immunity, with the help of the healthy nutrition that the mother takes. Then next, the baby is born. It gets passive immunity through the breast milk. As the child grows, you start feeding them. We say, right, 5 years is the foundation year. You have to give the child the most nutritious food. Why? Because the child is what the child eats. So if the child eats healthy, the child grows healthy. For example, if the child is deficient in protein and energy, then it develops into protein energy malnutrition. So strong hair, strong body, muscular body. So everything comes from the food. Also immunity. If your food is strong, your child has more immunity and less frequency of infections. Then you grow up. Of course, we have to meet so many people, so many circumstances, eat outside, you fall sick. But that time also, your food becomes your medicine. So when you take everything properly in the limited amounts, your food becomes your medicine, which will build immunity. How does your food become medicine? Then you have to eat balanced to stay healthy. Can you look into this picture? It has some bread, lot of vegetables, and a protein portion. So when you combine all these, that is the energy giving, bodybuilding, and the protective foods, energy giving, bodybuilding, and protective, in combination, you can have a healthy immune system. This I have put for the color, okay? So you can definitely go for Indian food for sure. What are the foods? You should have heard there are n number of articles available on the net. But why do you have this presentation today? Because see, whatever is available on the net, I have observed two things. One, few knowledge goes above our head. Number two, all that is available are from the Western countries. So we need to know the Indian version of immunity. And you also need to know the practical tips that can be practically easily followed in this lockdown situation with the available food. So in that way, we are starting with load yourself with vitamin C. So immunity boosting vitamin. When you call immunity, the first thing that comes to your mind is vitamin C. It also helps in detoxification. So once your toxins are cleaned inside your body is more active to fight against infection. Then unfortunately, we have to know that our body cannot produce vitamin C and we have to supply it through food only. When you're eating, you have to keep two things in mind. One is vitamin C is destroyed by heat and air. And it is a water-soluble vitamin. I hope you remember that we have learned this in the science, right? In the school days. So when you wash too many times, huge amount of water, the water, vitamin C in the food gets dispersed in the water and gets washed off. So dried food, cooked food, and pickled food cannot give you vitamin C. Where I have seen in few restaurants in India, there they say, to just make a note, this is a vitamin C rich food, and like even the cooked food they had mentioned. Yes, of course I agree. Greens are rich in vitamin C. Maybe it's a green dish, but once you cook the greens, the vitamin C is lost. So whatever you have to take it in that raw form. What to take? What gives you vitamin C? So you should know, right? You will be knowing all the citrus fruits. Apart from the citrus fruits, nature has given us n number of options to pick from. So like the commonly available fruits like amla and all the berries, guava, papaya, and vegetables like sprouts, broccoli, all those things gives you vitamin C. Amla, see, one apple a day keeps the doctor away. I will change the proverb to one amla a day keeps the doctor away. So please try taking, because it's easily available and economical fruit in India. Kindly include amla to boost your vitamin C levels. And sprouts. Sprouts not only gives you vitamin C, it also gives you proteins. Kindly do not cook sprouts. If you cook the sprouts, then the vitamin C is lost. So how can you take? Add a little lime, little pepper, little chaat masala, and enjoy. For the kids, you can add little jaggery, and it is delicious. And whenever you use vegetables, green leafy vegetables, wash them with vinegar or salt, so that the vitamin, you can use less water and the insecticides will go, and you can cook and eat. When you cook, just a little sauteing will suffice, and it will still retain a few amount of vitamin C. If we overcook, the vitamin C is lost. Now we have known the sources, how much to take. That is very, very important, because alavukku minjinal amridamum nanchu. And same way, if you don't take the required quantity, then it goes for a toss. So when you take fruits, be it citrus fruits or papaya or amla or not amla, guava, kiwi, lychee, anything of your choice, it should be minimum 200 grams, 200 to 300 grams of fruits. So when do you take the fruits? You cannot, please don't take fruits with the cooked food. Take it in between breakfast and lunch, so that your digestion of the breakfast is complete and your stomach is little hungry. That time, if you take the fruits, the digestion is proper and absorption of nutrients from the fruits is enormous. If not, if you can, I have given you options. You need not include everything. You can include any one thing for a day. If you don't choose fruits, then you can choose the raw sprouts. It should be raw and homemade, because outside, in this current scenario, buying outside will not be recommended. So you can make the sprouts at home. 50 to 60 grams of sprouts can be included. Okay, I don't have fruits now. I don't have sprouts. At least include the vegetables. One of the vegetables that is mentioned above, and the quantity should be minimum 150 grams. Yes. Now we have the mid-morning snack, and we have eaten. We have cleansed. Are we done? Is it enough? No. You need something else. You need more. So next, the vitamin we need is your sunshine vitamin. It is the best rescuer. So it balances the immune system. You need balance in life, right? Similarly, your immune system also requires a lot of balance. So that is done by vitamin D. And it also controls the innate and adaptive immune responses, so that your body can function effectively. And how do you get the vitamin C? Vitamin D. Everybody knows the major source is sun. The sun is the major source. Apart from this, you also get from fish and mushrooms, but we do not include it on a daily basis. So the major source, we talk about sun. How to get vitamin D from the sun? Just expose yourself Don't tell me it's corona time, I cannot go for walking. No need to go for walking. Just go on your terrace or stand in your balcony so that you get some sunlight at least 15 minutes a day. If the skin color is darker, then you have to take 30 minutes a day, because the body takes longer time to convert the UV rays into the vitamin D inside the body. And two things to be noted. One, if it is crossing a glass, the UV rays is filtered and you won't get vitamin D inside the body. And number two, if you're using a sunscreen and then you go in the sun, your body cannot manufacture sunscreen lotion. Your body cannot manufacture vitamin D. So when you're exposed to sun, just at least for 15 minutes, kindly do not use any sunscreen lotion, and see that you don't stand under a glass, so that you're exposed completely to sun and you get your vitamin D. If say most of the tropical countries, including India, where we have enormous sunshine, we are deficient in vitamin D. Why? Two reasons. We live in AC and we prefer to be indoors because of the sun. Number two, lot of cosmetics and lot of traveling in the AC cars, and lot of sunscreen lotions in use. So if you're already low in vitamin C, kindly use supplements that is prescribed by the medical practitioner. So you can relax yourself under the sun and you can stay healthy. Now you have eaten some fruits, relaxed under the sun. What is the next? What do you need next? You need some healthy fats. See, this omega-3, we have been hearing so much about omega-3, right? Omega-3 and omega-6. So this omega-3, the synthesis inside the body is minimal. So you have to load it exclusively through food. What does this do? Why is it important for your immune system? First thing, it again enhances the function of the immunity cells. Next, again, it detoxifies. I already told you, once your body is clean, it very effectively fights against the microorganisms. Hence, detoxification and enhancement of the immune cells is done by the omega-3. And it also relieves your stress. Now we are all undergoing the corona stress. So it also relieves your stress and it lubricates your joints so that you can walk a little bit in your sun. Where do you get this? As soon as we say omega-3, we only remember fish, right? Fish or the cod liver oil capsules. But we also have vegetarian sources of omega-3. Walnuts, flax seeds, chia seeds, soya bean, or if you are a non-vegetarian, if you prefer, you can take fish. So include any one of them in your daily diet so that you get adequate amount of omega-3. How much do you include? If you're taking fish, then it's 100 grams is sufficient. If you're taking walnuts, 4 whole walnuts will give you the entire requirement of omega-3. Then flaxseed, if you're using 1 tablespoon. Chia seeds, if you're using 1 tablespoon. But please remember, chia seeds needs to be soaked in 200 ml of water at least for 2 hours. If you're taking soya bean, it's half cup. So either one of the options in a day will give you the omega-3. Now we have taken vitamin C, little fruits are done, then relaxed under the sunshine, and then we have now included lot of lubrication inside the body. But we need a base. What is the base? Your protein. It is the backbone of your immunity. Hope everybody knows. And when you have an infection or a fever or a UTI or anything, when the blood test is done, have you noticed your WBC levels go up? What is the reason? WBC levels, the white blood cells. They are the immunity cells of the body which is present in the blood. So when there is an infection in the body, they are produced in more amounts to fight against the infection. Okay, so what is it made up of? You know, all the cells of our body is made up of protein. So does the WBC. Then the T cells and the B cells, which are immune cells, are nothing but proteins. Everything, your antibodies, your hormones, enzymes, anything you take, you name it, it is proteins. So it is very, very essential that you need proteins. When your protein intake decreases, you are more prone to infections. Where do you get the proteins from? You have two sources of proteins. One is the vegetable source and the animal source. Vegetable source, all the pulses, all the dals, all the legumes will give you the protein. Then it also includes your soya chunks, meal maker, that gives you protein. Mushroom gives you protein. Tofu gives you protein. And coming to the animal source, milk, yogurt, paneer, egg, lean meat. Lean meat includes chicken also, and fish. All these give you protein. It is very important that you take both vegetable and animal source in combination. For vegetarians, you can include milk, yogurt, and paneer so that you get the combination of the proteins. How much do you take? Why should you take in combination? So we are all humans are also categorized as animals, right? So whatever we get from an animal exactly resembles our protein inside the body. So we call it, and it also has all the essential amino acids within itself. What are essential amino acids? They are small, minute proteins that cannot be formed inside our body and has to be given through food. So since this has all the essential amino acids, we need to take proteins from vegetable source and animal source in combination. And how much to take? I know, because even I have clients, I take protein. And especially Indians, when I come to Indians, they say, yes, we do include. I eat dal, I eat fish, I eat chicken. Yes. But when you say you are a non-vegetarian, how many days in a week do you eat non-veg? Hardly a day or two max, right? So, but I'm not saying it's wrong, but on the other days, you need to compensate with the vegetable source. You have to take 100 grams, that is half cup cooked dals. Vegetable source is a form of protein. Then if it is an animal source, 150 grams can be taken. So sufficient protein will bring you a strong immunity. So far what we have seen. So when can you include? You can include proteins in the breakfast. You can include proteins in the lunch, and a little protein for dinner. Not too much. So even your idli, dosa, everything has grams in it. So that also is a good quality protein because you're combining cereals and pulses. So that protein is enough for the dinner. But during lunch and breakfast, kindly include more proteins in any form. It can be in the form of a curd, or it can be in the form of paneer, palak paneer, anything of your choice. Or some egg curry, chicken curry, fish curry, anything. Okay. So now we have taken the mid-morning snack, gone for a relaxed walk under the sun. Then we have taken some lubrication through omega-3. And we have now built into the proteins, the base. Our favorite subject, carbs. I think the whole world is going crazy with carbs. Wherever you turn, don't take carbs, no carbs, low carb diet. Is it healthy? No, not at all. But that's a different thing. But you should know how is carbs related to immunity. See, when people work out in the gym, they usually take a lot of protein supplements, all huge boxes, right? Have anyone read that? It not only gives you proteins, it also gives you carbohydrates. Why? Because protein supplement, you can give only proteins and finish it off. Why? Because if the protein has to do its work of bodybuilding and immunity building, then you have to give carbohydrates so that your body gets energized to perform the action. It is called as protein sparing action of carbohydrates. So you need little carbohydrates so that the proteins can do its work. Keep it very simple. Okay. And when for the people who are doing strenuous exercise, they are very prone to upper respiratory tract infection. And that too, in these days, it is not safe. So what can they do? A little carbs before or during the workout, like a small piece of banana, a small piece of bread, or little nuts. So all that will help in prevention. So little carbohydrates, you have to take it in the complex form, which means don't see okay, dietitian Uma has said you can take carbohydrates. I'm going to eat sweets. I'm going to eat toffee. I'm going to eat chocolates. Will it help? No, it will ruin your health because you're pumping loads of carbohydrates. So you have to take complex carbohydrates, which will give you slow release of sugar into the bloodstream. How do you make? Your rice has carbohydrates, right? So when you take rice with plenty of vegetables, both in combination will make the rice a complex carbohydrate, and it will give you slow release of sugar from the intestine, which will help your body to fight against germ and improve immunity. So carbohydrates can be included in all the 3 major meals. So we have done now with the all the 3 major meals, and we have done with the mid-morning snack with the fruits and your omega-3, all the nuts, walnuts, almonds, those can be included during the snack. And you have a relaxed walk. Is it done? Is it enough to build immunity? See, we look always beautiful, right? But still, we go to the beauty parlor. We go to the beauty parlor. Why? To relax ourselves, to have a spa, and to beautify ourselves. So we need, our intestine is working day and night for us. So it also needs a spa. Probiotics is our gut spa. What is probiotics? They are small microorganisms, living organisms that are essential to perform certain digestive activities inside the intestine. It keeps our intestine hale and healthy. Intestine is our largest immune boosting organ, immunity organ, because whatever you consume through food, the intestine blocks the entry of the germs inside the bloodstream. So you have to give a strong spa to the intestine. So probiotics, so you should have heard, right? And probiotics also regulate, which means boost, which means moderate innate and the adaptive immune responses. Every day you have to take probiotics so that your gut is very soft, smooth, and it can function in full efficiency. If your gut is clean, digestion is proper, absorption is also proper. Whatever you eat will be properly absorbed. You need to know, where does this probiotic come from? Source is a very simple source. Our curd, yogurt, buttermilk. The other 3, kefir, kimchi, and kombucha, refer to the pickled or some sort fermented substances of the Korean products. We can concentrate on 4 things: curd, yogurt, buttermilk, and fermented rice water. What is fermented rice water? It looks something, like fashionable, but it's nothing but our palaya sadam. Okay, so if you take fermented rice water every day in the morning on the empty stomach, your gut is very happy to receive it. And it is the only vegetarian source of vitamin B12. You can include curd, yogurt, and buttermilk in your daily lunch. How much to take? 50 to 100 ml of yogurt every day is fine. And fermented rice water, for one single person, the recipe is here. How much to take? You can have a look into. So now the spa is over. We are feeling overall relaxed. You should go for a wash. What do you need for washing? You need water. So the water is the one-stop solution. It again cleans your toxins. We should have learned in our science, it carries nutrients to our bodies, it carries the toxins to the kidneys. So that is the major thing. The more clean your body is, the more immune your body becomes. And it is also the main component of lymph. What is lymph? Lymph is one white blood. Well, it's a liquid that flows through flows inside your body, which is the major part of the immune system. So the most of the component of lymph is water, and water keeps your eyes and mouth moist so that dust does not enter and prevents infection, and it aids in proper digestion. It also helps to treat small cold, cough, minor ailments, and also to prevent chronic diseases like hypertension, kidney problems, and cardiac issues. How much to take? This everybody should know. 3 liters of water is ideal. But we are staying at home. We are not walking around. We are not thirsty. How do I include 3 liters? We tend to skip, right? How do I include 3 liters? I've given you few tips. Make detox or infused water. It's nothing. It's simple. Just cut a few fruit, whatever flavor you like, a strawberry or a watermelon or some mint leaves. You put just a lemon inside, ginger, cucumber. Just put 2 or 3 pieces in a full jar of water. Just leave it for 2 hours. And that water will get a mild taste and flavor. This will increase your water intake. And keep that jug in front of you wherever you're working, so that it is in contact with your eye and you remember to drink. Consciously drink water. Include more water for 3 to 4 days, and that will become your habit, and your body will start asking for water. Right? So now what happened? We have taken our mid-morning snack, relaxed under the sun, then have their breakfast, lunch, dinner with proteins, carbs, and then we have snacks for nuts. Omega-3 is boosted. What else do you need? 3 more small things which is there in our regular everyday kitchen: garlic, ginger, and turmeric. I call them magic ingredients. They are really magic. They are just required in small quantities, but they bang on your immune system. So garlic has a substance called as allicin that helps to boost your immunity. How much of garlic? 2 to 3 cloves per day per person is recommended. And ginger, so it is anti-inflammatory. Like you cannot, if you have inflammation, it can turn into infection. So you have to take some anti-inflammatory. Do not go for any drugs. Please take some ginger. So ginger, you can make it as ginger tea, or just put little ginger, boil it with water. After removing, little lime, and it's yum. Seriously, believe me. So half an inch of ginger per person per day will be beneficial. Next comes turmeric. Turmeric, I am sure every one of us are using in our cooking. So please add pinches of turmeric for all the 3 meals, so that your immune system automatically gets boosted up. These 3 things, please include it on the daily basis. So now we have done with all the things, and we have included some magic ingredients also to boost our immunity. So is it enough? I don't think so, because along with nutrition, sleep is primary. So sleep properly. Sleep like a baby. How does baby sleep? Baby sleeps, it forgets everything. Once it sleeps, that's all, right? So just sleep like a baby. I know there is a lot of stress going on, so we'll discuss it in 2 minutes. So now you have to sleep. So not now, during your night. So you have to sleep because your body heals when you're sleeping. That is why when people get sick or hospitalized, they tend to sleep more. That is your body knowledge. It asks for rest. So give yourself a proper rest. And one more thing, a special protein called cytokinins is produced and released only during sleep, which is very, very important to fight against infection and inflammation. So kindly take time to sleep. Do not ignore sleep. How much of sleep you need? 7 to 8 hours or 6 to 8 hours of sleep. See, some housewives don't, I have observed in practical life that some housewives actually don't get so much of time. So for them, I would recommend a 30 minutes nap during the day. Not immediately after the meal, but at least 1.5 hours after the meal. So now what we have seen, we have eaten the whole day, relaxed in the sun, and had a good sleep. Will that suffice for immunity? No, you need a little workout. Ma'am, it's workout. No, it's COVID time, so no gyms are open. I can't go out for walking. No excuses. You can do some exercise in your home. One such is the Surya Namaskar, the magic workout. Why do I call this magic? Because this has 12 small simple steps, which includes all the parts of the body from your head till toe, which is very essential. And this has been scientifically proved to boost your immune system and fight against diseases. Children doing this Surya Namaskar are less infectious than children who do not perform the Surya Namaskar. You can do just 12 cycles, 12 steps, 12 cycles in a day. That will keep you highly immune and keep you very fit also. Seriously, I'm talking about. But if you don't know this, you can learn it online. When you learn it online, just learn it as an exercise. Because this is being done as a yoga also, where you have lot of breathing going on. But if you don't have a teacher right now, just do it as an exercise, because if the breathing goes wrong, then you will have trouble. So just do it as an exercise. I don't have time to do exercise. That's an excuse, right? No. Can't you spare 5 minutes, 10 minutes of your whole entire 24 hours? I think you can, right? So 12 cycles of Surya Namaskar will take just 5 to 10 minutes. That's all. And after doing this, you will sweat like anything. Seriously, I'm telling you, try it out. Okay? And who can do? A child from 4 years till adults, anybody can do. There is no restriction at all. But if you're doing exercise suddenly after a long break, kindly do some warm-up, then do the Surya Namaskar. So Surya Namaskar will help you to build immunity. So now you've had full meal, slept, relaxed under the sun, and some workout is done. What else do you need? Stress. I can't sleep because I have stress. So too much of negativity throughout the world, right? You need positivity now to build immunity also. So optimism, thinking positive. I'm fine. I will be able to do this. I can do. My immunity is building up. I know I am strong. This is positivity. This is optimism. When you have positive thoughts flowing inside your mind, your pituitary gland strengthens the immunity. And then meditation. Meditation not only calms your mind, but it sends positive messages so that your entire immune systems get strengthened. That is very, very important. And it also, meditation increases the antibody production in the body, which is very essential for fighting any type of infections. How do I meditate? I don't know to meditate. I'm not learnt anything. Do nothing, just breathe. Sit down, close your eyes, just for 10 minutes, not more. 10 minutes, close your eyes and just do deep breathing and observe how your breath is going in and going out. That's all. That itself is a peaceful meditation. Okay, I don't want to do meditation. Do you have any other option? Yes. One more option is mindfulness. What is mindfulness? See, now in this fast moving world, we are multitasking, right? So many tasks at the same time and so many thoughts at the same time. Mindfulness is doing single tasking. Just concentrate on what you do. It can be anything. It can be anything. You like to draw, just concentrate on your drawing and draw. I'm doing a webinar now. It's a mindfulness for me because I'm concentrating on the webinar, right? So similarly, anything you do, like even eating, you take a food, just keep it in your mouth, chew it slowly, relish it, enjoy its juice. Okay, so that is called as mindful eating. So anything, listening to music, okay, but please don't watch TV. You will get distracted. So listening to music, just scribbling is fine. I want to scribble and let out my tension in mindfulness, just do it. Okay. You like to write something, write. And then your mind, and concentrate on what you're writing. That's all. Concentrating on one thing is called as mindfulness. All these three things will automatically de-stress you, which is again going to boost your immunity. So now you're boosting your immunity physiologically and psychologically. What next? Is it done? You need personal hygiene. Why is that? So the outer portion is our skin. Skin is the first immune system because it is the barrier that does not allow any microorganisms to penetrate inside your body. So it is very important to keep your external structure very clean. So wash your hands, which we all know and very essential during Corona, before and before food, after coming from outside, after using the washrooms. So please wash your hands. Then do not forget to take a shower every day. It's very important. I'm at home, so don't feel lazy to not to shower, please. Especially the kids, I've observed. So kindly encourage your kids to have a wash every day. Brush your teeth twice every day and blow your nose. Nose has small hairs which will prevent the entry of microorganisms. So when you blow, what all is there, stuck is going to come out. So blow your nose. Then clip your nails so that the nail grits do not collect the dust. Then wash your hair. So twice a week at least shampoo your hair so that it stays clean and healthy. So we are clean now, we are psychologically fine, physically boosting energy, and all these times I was talking about do this, do this, do this. Only one slide. For me, please, don't do this. Like smoking, alcohol, tobacco, and having junk food. This drains your immunity like anything. So kindly refrain from doing that. But if you are a chronic smoker and a chronic alcoholic, kindly do it in very minimal amount so that you don't get the deprivation syndromes. Okay, so alcohol and smoking, you have to do it very minimal. And if you are not a chronic drinker or smoker, kindly do not go for all these stuff. Now, summing up, so we have seen that we have to take a little fruits that can be doing the mid-morning, and for breakfast, lunch and dinner, you have your carbohydrates, proteins and vegetables that is going to boost your immunity. Then for evening snack, you can have nuts to boost your immunity. Then throughout the day, keep drinking water to clean out your toxins, and then that boosts your immunity. Then after that, you give your gut spa. You have to and you have to pamper your digestive system. So take yogurt or buttermilk or fermented rice water, okay? And your spa is done. And include the magic ingredients, sprinkle mom's magic, right? So magic ingredients, ginger, garlic, and turmeric can be done. Then your psychological health, either meditation or mindfulness, stay positive, which will help in de-stress. And then wash yourself and say no to certain habits and have a sound sleep. I hope these things we followed personally, and I saw that my kids had got a lot of benefits and the immune system has really built up for us. So I'm sharing all these practical tips with you. Hope you have had a great session and you enjoyed my session. Thank you for your patient listening.
Thank you, ma'am, for a very detailed presentation. I hand over the session to Dr. P. Somabala, who will moderate the questions.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Anna Sumatara.
Thank you so much, Dr. Uma Maheshwari, for your educative presentation. Actually, the chat box is flooded with so many questions. And I think
Chat box
I'll
enable
start.
பண்ணிட்டாங்க.
Can emotions affect immune system?
Definitely, yes. That's why I said you have to have the positive emotion, feeling of happiness. So when you follow, these small tips in your diet, you will definitely have positive emotions. If you have negative emotions, your immunity goes low.
That is one more question. What are chia seeds?
Chia seeds are small. Should I show you that again? They are small, tiny seeds that is available in India. Very free. It is very in all the stores. It's commonly available. So that increases your omega-3 content, and it has a lot of health benefits. Yeah, these are chia seeds. The black ones, they are very small, and that has to be soaked in water because it absorbs a lot of water. If you take it without soaking, it will absorb the water inside your stomach, and sometimes you may choke, and sometimes you may end up in constipation. That's why when you soak, it actually swells up. Then you can just eat it. It's tasteless basically. So you can add a little lime so that you can. It's like a lime juice. That's all.
Next question. How do we prevent bloating during menstrual cycles? Is there any diet for it?
Yeah, see, that's a complete different chapter. I would give you a small tip, including methi seeds, fenugreek seeds, on a daily basis, or at least 2 to 3 days prior to your menstrual cycle, early in the morning. Just take 1 teaspoon of methi seeds, put it in your mouth, drink a glass of warm water, and after that you can take your coffee tea half an hour after that. So when you do this will prevent bloating during menstruation.
Thank you, doctor. Another question.
Yeah.
Nowadays, a common problem among girls after puberty is thyroid and polycystic in ovaries. Why is it happening, and how to overcome this?
Yeah, so it's a very good question. Thanks for those who have asked. See, it is on the rise. Yes, it's on a high rise. And India was ranking second in the population. And now wherever you turn, you see the infertility centers. Why? Because of the change in the lifestyle. We have lot of aspiration for Western life, which has ruined our health. So now you go back to your roots, go back to your traditional food, and that will, definitely cut down the PCOS level, and that is why nowadays we are going for organic foods, which was the basic for India. We didn't use pesticides; we used natural pesticides. Now everything is coming back, right? So the more organic foods you use, organic in the sense naturally growing foods, even you can have a small kitchen garden. So that change in the lifestyle is causing all these. So go back to your tradition, do some exercises, encourage the kids to eat healthy stuff. Do not give them, giving a pizza and a burger for lunch or a snacks has become a status. I'm sorry to mention, but I have seen in my personal life, when a child gets, our default rasam sadam or curd rice to school, I have seen people bullying those child. Please stop that. Give your traditional food. I stay in Vietnam. I give my kids only traditional foods. So give your traditional foods and see that you can overcome this PCOS for sure.
Thank you, doctor. There's another question from Anna. There is a strong belief that people with thyroid issues should restrict vitamin C intake. Please clarify.
It's new to me. I don't think there is, there are certain vegetables like cauliflower, broccoli, kale, soya beans, which has to be restricted. Why you're restricting that? I mean, avoided, not restricted, because the substances present in those particular vegetables inhibit the function of the thyroid gland, but definitely not vitamin C. Vitamin C is very essential for everyone in the world. Not vitamin C for sure.
Thank you, doctor. There's another question. How will we boost diabetic patients' immunity?
I think I have discussed that. So including all these things, like fruits, you can give amla, which is very safe for a diabetic patient. You can give papaya. 100 grams of papaya is fine. So following what all is told in this webinar, like a lot of proteins, little carbohydrates, more of vegetables for breakfast and lunch. And for dinner, you give a lot of vegetables with little carbohydrates, like your idli, dosa, and all that stuff. And give him walnuts, which will increase immunity, and it does not affect your sugar levels. So when you do follow this structural pattern with proper workout like your Surya Namaskar or 30 minutes walking, definitely a diabetic person can increase his immunity.
Next question. Can the fermented rice be consumed along with the fermented rice water? This is a question from Jasmine.
Yeah. Definitely, yes. That the water is of prime importance. You have to consume that water. You can add 2 teaspoons of yogurt to that for the flavor. Add little salt, and then you just mash it and drink it. It's just like a drink. You can take it like that. You have to take the water. It's very important.
And another question regarding vitamin D. At what time is the right time for go for walk to have the vitamin D in the sun?
See, during the sunrise and sunset, I would prefer. Then it gives you the maximum benefit. Even during the day, it is fine. But one thing is, nowadays, when we go out during the day, we get sunburns, which again is a complication. So to avoid that, morning sun till 10 a.m. is fine. So as soon as you wake up, just have a cup of coffee in your balcony, or you go to your terrace, have a cup of coffee. So while you sip your coffee, you can get your vitamin D also.
Thank you. And there is another question. Some vegetarians cannot digest pulses like tur dal and green gram dal or urud dal. What do you suggest them as a diet for proteins?
It is not digestion. It is because they digest, they get flatulence. So to avoid flatulence, what I would say is whatever grams, dals you are using, you can just dry roast the dals. Just take a kadai, heat it, put the dals, just dry roast it. Once the flavor changes, remove it. Don't add oil. And then you pressure cook it, you will see the difference. The digestion becomes more easier. And for vegetarians, another thing is complementary proteins. When you combine 4 parts of cereals with 1 part of pulse, you get the complete proteins. So that way also vegetarians can include protein. You can include curd, you can include milk, paneer once in a week because it's fattening also. So once in a week, paneer, tofu, soya chunks. Soya chunks, since it is processed, the flatulence creating substance has been removed. So you can use the meal maker also as a source of protein. So vegetarians, we have immense sources. I am a vegetarian. So you have immense sources of proteins. Please do include in your daily diet.
Thank you, doctor. Another question, how to improve calcium levels?
Milk and milk products are the best source. And one more thing is your legumes. Legumes, pulses, daily consumption of these things will increase your calcium levels for sure.
Thank you.
Green leafy vegetables too. I'm sorry, missed it.
And is immunity measurable? How does we know if our body is sufficient level?
I think it's a very tricky question. See, immunity levels, you don't have to go and test yourself in a lab, but you can see the difference within yourself. Like less frequency of cold, cough, even when the child or somebody falls down, the healing of wound is faster. All these show that your immune levels are higher, and less frequency of headache, less frequency of stomach upset. So all these are caused due to some deficiency or something going on wrong inside the body. So when these symptoms improve, you can be very sure that your immunity level has improved.
And there is another question from Jhansi Rani. Ma'am, I want to know whether rice water will increase sugar levels.
See, that is why I have given you the quantity. I said just 30 grams is only this much of rice, and you soak it in 200 ml of water. So when you take that, the starch, when it ferments, the rice starch becomes resistant starch, turning itself into a little complex form. So when you take that, your sugar level does not increase.
And there is another question from Dr. B. Satyanarayanan. He's asking whether the tinned food is good for health, like a milk.
No, not at all. Not at all. Please, if I have missed that, I'm sorry. But definitely anything, that's what the junk, junk means anything processed, anything you get in tins, anything you get in packets is 100% unhealthy. They can deem it, you get the UHT milk, I know, right? Which says no preservatives, but they heat it to a very high temperature in smaller time so that all the enzymes in the milk dies. So when you consume that, I have seen people who are very healthy also getting lactose resistancy. So if in India, we are blessed to get fresh cow's milk and the Avin milk, Nandini milk, the packets. So kindly go for those milks rather than the tinned or the Tetra Pak ones.
Thank you, doctor. That is one question from Dr. P. Maheshwari. She's asking, what is your advice for the people with obesity?
I'm also Maheshwari. So the diet which I told you, what to eat, I think I told you it's like a diet only. Like, morning you can eat this, mid-morning you can eat this, and you can have nuts for your snack. If you do these steps, your diet becomes balanced. Your system becomes more immune. Once your system starts receiving immense nutrition, weight loss happens automatically. This is the secret behind weight loss diet. If you're going for a crash diet, it will not work and it is not good for your health. Obesity is a symptom of some deficiency inside your body. Something is going on wrong. So you correct it with your diet. Take plenty of vegetables. I'm not saying vegetables means not salad. Please cook and eat. Make your puriyal, make your kutu, whatever you want, you make. And you put it in sambar, you put it in kolambu, it's fine. But take large proportions. I know I have a client who says, I eat lot of vegetables. I eat vegetables. Finally, when I came to know she eats only this much. This much will not suffice. Please have more amount of vegetables, like minimum 200 grams per person. If you include 200 grams minimum of vegetables along with your rice and dal, that becomes balanced and your weight loss automatically happens. You can relish and lose your weight.
Thank you, doctor. Another question, can fermented drinks and fermented soya bean be used as magic ingredients?
Are you doing it? If you're doing it, you can do. As I already told, if it is available as a processed food in the Tetra Packs, I will request you to avoid that. please go for the natural ones. Nature is the best for you.
Thank you, doctor. There's a comment from Dr. G. Pushparaj with the is fenugreek seeds having arthritis properties.
Arthritis properties. So far, I have not heard. Maybe I can clarify on that. I don't want to misguide you, because fenugreek and arthritis we have not combined, because fenugreek seeds I recommend for even a patient who had arthritis, and because she had to lose her weight also, so that recommendation was also there, but she never complained of any degradation of her pain. It in fact helped her to get better. So if in case he's stating that, I need to refer and I need to clarify that.
Thank you, doctor. Another question from Dr. T. Kausalya Kumari. What can we eat to grow long and thick hair?
Eat lot of proteins. See, in this immunity thing, I have told you so many things, right? Omega-3, you have to eat your proteins and vitamin C. All this in turn will improve your hair growth also. It will first stop hair fall, then improve your hair growth. And your hair will have the shiny texture without using, like glossy gels and all that stuff. And one more point I would like to add on here, when you follow this, there are other immunity nutrients like micronutrients like iron, zinc, manganese, which also will build immunity. When you follow this type, all the 12 steps that I have spoken so far, all those nutrients also will be covered.
Thank you, doctor. And there's a question from Jagadambal. Is there any diet that to do away with migraine?
Yes, definitely. You have a separate course, and I have formulated such a migraine diet personally for me, because post delivery I had a lot of issues with the migraine. I have twins, so one baby will be awake during the morning, one baby will awake during the night, so completely no sleep, and I landed up with migraine and gastritis. So I Indianized the Western concepts of the migraine, and you have a separate course to undergo for at least a week's course. Then when you start following that, the migraine headache goes down. Few tips I can give you now, because you've raised the question. One is stop the triggers. Whatever is triggering you, you should identify, because there are n number of triggers for migraine. You go under the sun, you get. You sit under AC, you get. You drink a very hot coffee, you get. You drink a cold, you eat a cold, very cold, frozen, completely frozen ice cream, you get. You get angry, you get. You are hungry, you get. If you don't sleep, you get. So migraine has so many reasons. All these are called as triggers, not reasons. So stop the triggers. Stop the triggers. That's the first step for having migraine. Then sleep properly. Don't use sleeping pills. You can go for a glass of chamomile tea before you sleep. That will doze you off, so that your brain gets proper rest and your migraine levels go down. Eat on time. That's the best thing for migraine. Eat on time. Keep time yourself and eat on time. You follow these three things and you will see an immense difference.
Thank you, doctor. There's another question. How can we improve our digestion?
Your gut spa is there for your digestion. Yogurt, you can take buttermilk, your fermented rice water, you can take. If you're having severe problems, then take jeera water. Just add 1 teaspoon of jeera, boil it in 1 liter of water just for 5 minutes, switch it off, cool down, and take that water throughout the day. I mean, like not 1 liter, 2-3 liters, how many ever you want. So that will improve digestion. And fenugreek also will improve digestion.
Have you any dietary suggestions to delay degenerative changes in Parkinson's disease?
Yes, that is a vast topic. So definitely, yes, you can. See, again, there are certain micronutrients that can delay. I'm happy for the question of delay, because we cannot prevent it. So we can delay it by taking one small tip I can give you now is take lot of fruits and vegetables. Because because the more antioxidant goes in, the degenerative diseases slows down. So a lot of fruits, lot of vegetables in any form. If the patient is old and he's not able to chew, it's okay. Give him a juice. It's fine. So the more the micronutrients inside your body, the diseases, degenerative diseases slows down, including Parkinson's.
Thank you, doctor. There's a question from Sylvie. Why thyroid affected persons are having bad sweating smell? Is there any remedy to cure?
Bad sweating smell, I have not observed so far. But if your sweat smell is very strong, which means your digestive system is not proper. So set your digestive system right and your sweating smell will automatically change. So you can include Zira water, Oma Tanni we say, right? So you can include Omam water also. That all will set your digestion back into track. And take fenugreek seeds 1 teaspoon for 1 week every day morning. Then the more you cleanse, detoxify yourself, the sweat smell comes down. It is not only for hypothyroidism or people with thyroidism, but for general population also.
Thank you. There's this question from Dr. Malarvili. What is the diet for rheumatoid arthritis?
Rheumatoid arthritis, which affects your heart and also your joints. Again, fruits and lot of omega-3, which is very, very essential because you have to give healthy fats. You should not deprive the person of fats. You have to give healthy fats, which will come from the omega. One source is omega-3. So omega-3, you can give a small portion of a fish, or you can give little nuts on a daily basis, so that the lubrication also happens and the heart is also happy to receive the healthy fats. That is one small tip for the rheumatoid arthritis patients.
Thank you, Dr. Uma Maheshwari. Thanks for explaining very patiently. May I now request Dr. K. Vijaya to continue with the proceedings.
Thank you very much, Ms. Uma Maheshwari. It was a wonderful session. And there are few questions in the private chat. Will you be able to spare your time?
Yeah, sure, I can. Yeah.
One of the participants have asked, should multivitamin supplement be taken between meals or after meals?
I won't recommend supplements. Being a dietitian, I know wherever you go, people give you supplements, and you have n number of supplements available. As I told you, nature is the best. See, only if you're deficient or very, very low, supplements will help. I talked about vitamin D supplement because when vitamin D levels are low, you cannot boost it through sun rays. You can only maintain it through sun rays. So since no food gives you vitamin D, I ask you to take vitamin D supplement. For multivitamins and multi-minerals, I will request, please include fruits, vegetables, which will give you everything. In case your doctor has prescribed, take it after food.
And one more question in the private chat. What's your opinion on LCHF? Low carbohydrates and high fat diet.
Low carbohydrate, again, it depends upon a person to person. It's called as a keto diet, basically. We call it a keto diet. So keto diet, when it is taken for a week or maximum of 10 days, it is fine. Because when there is a plateau, weight loss plateau, when you pull in this keto diet, it gives you a break. But prolonged keto diet is not at all healthy, because you remove all the fruits and all the carbohydrates. Carbohydrate-rich foods not only gives you carbohydrates, it also gives you B vitamins. So deficiency of other vitamins will happen, and prolonged use of keto diet sometimes it has proven to bounce back the weight you have lost. So have a balanced meal, enjoy life, and then reduce weight.
And sorry for one more question.
No worries, ma'am.
Do you suggest egg for diabetic patient every day?
Yes, definitely. It's a high quality protein. Yeah, egg yolk, 2 or 3 yolks in a week can be given. Please understand, 2 or 3 yolks in a week. But egg white, 2 egg whites on daily basis, you can give it to a diabetic. When he takes it along with the food, it improves the insulin sensitivity, and the response towards the diabetes is very good.
And one more question just now. Ma'am, if we add turmeric to fish, whether it reduces the benefits?
I didn't get the question. I'm sorry. What do you add?
If we add tamarind to fish,
Tamarind. Okay.
Yeah.
The puli, right?
yeah,
No, I don't think. No, see, puli we don't add in this much amount. No, you just add a little bit just to get the sourness. It will not affect. Don't worry.
okay.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I have one more question from Dr. Soumya.
Yeah.
Now, there is a sudden increase in availability of so-called immune boosting foods. What is your comment on this?
There is nothing, no special immune boosting foods. Your regular foods, you have it in the proper quantity. Like one amla, it's fine. It's going to boost your amla is available. Guava, it's economical and it's available. And walnuts, of course, you have to buy and store. That also is immune boosting. Take a lot of vegetables, include more proteins. So when you do this on a regular basis, your immunity automatically goes up. And stay happy. Keep smiling.
There's one more question from Mallika. How much
Yes.
oil should be taken every day?
How much oil, ma'am?
Oil. Yeah.
Oil, yeah. So if you are having a healthy weight, then one day for one person, you can include 4 teaspoons of oil, which will include ghee and oil together. 4 teaspoons per day for one person. If you are 3 members in the family, which means 12 teaspoons per day can be used. I think it is more than sufficient for Indian cooking. If you are looking for a weight loss, then I will recommend 2 teaspoons per day. It is not tablespoon, it's teaspoon.
Which one, curd or buttermilk, is probiotic?
Both are probiotics.
And,
Because buttermilk, you make it from curd only.
okay. Yes. And there's a question for urinary tract infections, how to boost immunity?
Take a lot of vitamin C, because vitamin C is the only thing that can excess vitamin C gets washed through urine. So when it is flowing through the urinary tract, it cleans it urinary tract and prevents it from infection. So you take lot of vitamin C rich foods and you can prevent UTI for sure. And drink plenty of water. Water is the best medicine. Keep drinking and use the washroom. Yes, using the washroom, I would like to mention, use the washroom as soon as you get the feeling that you have to pass the urine. Especially with the kids, even with my kids, till the last moment, when they start dancing, I said, I think you have to use the washroom. So we ourselves will know, but they want to sustain playing. So even we adults do that. We are busy with some work. After some time I'll go. Don't do that. That induces UTI. So whenever you get the urge, please use the washroom. Drink plenty of water. Eat vitamin C. Say bye to UTI.
There's another question regarding skin care for children.
Yeah.
How to improve their skin care?
Skin care. You have aloe vera at home. Don't get moisturize. For children, we compare our skin with the children's skin. We say baby soft, right? So which means children have very good skin than adults. So to improve their skin or to prevent their skin from damage, the best thing is first is washing. Like you have to take wash, and after school, it is a must that the child has a bath. then immediately after bath, you can apply mild moisturizer so that your skin does not it becomes dry. What is the best moisturizer? Coconut oil. Just take a little coconut oil, rub it, and you rub it on the whole body. The skin absorbs. If you do it immediately after wash, the skin absorbs. You can see it doesn't stick to your clothes. Very little coconut oil, that will help. And you can, for the face, you can use aloe vera. Just take the green part out, wash it nicely, completely, so that valavalapu is gone. I'm sorry, I'm using Tanglish. Then you take that gel and rub it nicely. Even adults can do it. It becomes so soft. And it has no side effects.
There is one question from Dr. Archana Soman. How to overcome stress when we conceive?
How to work on stress when you conceive? Overcome stress. Yeah. First is positive thinking. I know, because during pregnancy, mood swings are too high because of the hormones that is being secreted inside the body. I will practically, if I tell you, apart from nutritional thing, don't read anything on the net, because it gives you more than what you want and you get stressed completely, especially during pregnancy. I underwent that practically when I was pregnant. So I'm telling you that. And even for anything, first thing is get the information what your body needs, not what other body has. Okay, that's thing. Then meditate. Just sit, do deep breathing, and listen to any melodious songs. Anything. It can be your favorite Ilayaraja music or any instrumental music, or any chants, mantra chants. All that will automatically de-stress you. And you can do mindfulness. These are the simple things. When you do it with full concentration, it will give you immense benefits.
Thank you, doctor. There is one question from Dr. A. Satish Kumar. How to avoid gallbladder stones and what are the remedies after affected?
See, once it is affected, I'm sorry, we cannot, reverse that, because it has happened, and so far we have not found treatments to reverse that. You have to operate. So gallbladder is only the storehouse for bile, which is secreted by the liver. So removing the gallbladder is not going to make any drastic changes in the digestion. So you don't need to worry, first point. But when the stone is there, it definitely pains. You cannot avoid the formation, or you cannot prevent its, you cannot remove it. Like for kidney stones, I can tell you can decrease the size and you can burst it out, but this cannot happen. To prevent gallstones formation, don't try to avoid deep fried items and too much of oily items, which will put stress on your liver. So oil can be used once in a while. If you eat our favorite vada, bhaji, bonda is fine. But if you take it on a regular basis, bhaji, bonda, vada, samosa, chips and all that, it is going to definitely put a strain on the liver and the gallbladder.
Okay, there's another question regarding what are the solutions for allergic sneezing and running nose?
Allergic sneezing and running nose, one thing is you have to identify your allergy to what you are allergic to, and you have to prevent that allergy from affecting you. Say if you have pollen allergy, refrain from going near the flowers, refrain from entering the garden. You observe the garden from outside, or you go in a garden where there are a lot of trees, not flowers, right? So something like that you can do. If you have dust allergy, kindly wear a mask. Now you're wearing mask for COVID, but wear masks to prevent allergy also. It helps 1,000 times, if you have that allergic sinusitis. And if suppose you get what to do steam inhalation. Just boil the water, add rock salt to that, and do the steam inhalation. All this will come down. Then dry ginger, suku podi, you mix in warm water and apply it around your eyes, and it drains your water. So this is how you can treat, and prevention is like you avoid from that allergy and you boost your immunity, following all the steps that we have discussed today.
Ma'am, there's one more question from Krishanpal Singh. My father is having stone in kidney, can't operate due to the old age. So, any suggestions?
How big is the stone? If it is a small stone, then he can drink water. Lot of water will, if the stone is very small, then that if you drink plenty of water, that water itself breaks the stones and push it out. But there will be pain when the stone moves. So, but due to old age, if it is going to the operative state, and then which means the stone size should be a little bigger. You can take Vadatandu juice, banana stem, that you can take as a vegetable or as a juice form, because the enzyme present in that has the tendency to decrease the size of the stone, but it will be a slow process only. You can try this for sure. And even if it is he is a diabetic, plantain stem is very good for him. So you can try giving plantain stem and lot of vitamin C again.
And I think
Thank you,
that
doctor.
covers most of the questions. Thank you so much for patiently answering all the questions.
Thank you for inviting me, and I thank
One second, ma'am.
Deepa and yeah.
Is Vijaya ma'am?
Oh, Vijay ma'am is not here.
May I request Dr. Vijaya to continue the proceedings?
I think she's not here at the moment, ma'am. So I'll take over and do the formal vote of thanks.
She's there.
She's there? Vijaya ma'am?
Sorry, there's a net interruption. Sorry for the inconvenience. Thank you for the wonderful session, Dietitian Uma Maheshwari. As I told you in the introduction, Murthy Siridhandralum Kirti Peridu. You were able to clarify all the doubts, and because participants were loaded with different questions, and you were able to clear all our doubts, and for your patient answering of all the questions. In a nutshell, I can tell, உடலில் ஊர்தி உடையவரே உள்ளம் உறுதி உடையவராம். So you have proved that we can fight out this pandemic of corona, COVID-19, with the strong immune system. Definitely, we will come out of this tension, and we will definitely win the war of corona. Undoubtedly, you have motivated us. We will boost our immune system, and we will fight back, and we will create a history, not only in India and throughout the world. Thank you very much. And once again, I thank Dr. Deepa Mohan of Mohan Diabetes Research Center for having introduced such a nice resource person to our webinar. Thank you so much.
My sincere thanks to Dr. Vijaya and Dr. Deepa for giving me the opportunity to meet you all through this webinar. Thank you, one and all.
Over to Joan Ruby for the formal vote of thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. I deem it as a pleasure and honor to propose the vote of thanks. I extend my sincere gratitude to Madam Principal, Dr. D. Vida Nyanarani, for granting us permission to organize this webinar. I thank my HOD, Dr. K. Vijaya, for organizing the program. Thank you, ma'am, for being a pillar of support and a constant motivator. Our resource person for the day, Dietitian Uma Maheshwari, has simplified nutrition and immunity for us. Thank you, ma'am, for giving us a clear idea of the connection between immunity and nutrition. You have beautifully described the sources of the most important nutrition that our body requires, and also how to find alternative source even during the lockdown period. You simplified what we can do on a daily basis with things that we can find in our own homes. I hope we put things into practice right now. Thank you once again, ma'am. Thank you, dear participants, for your overwhelming response. And please fill the feedback forms before you leave the session. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ma'am, we will be live for a few more minutes so that all the participants can fill feedback forms.
Yeah, definitely.
A humble request to all the participants, please wait for the feedback form. It will be posted in the last 5 to 10 minutes of the session. You need not send us reminders of posting the feedback form. We will do it automatically.
And you can also tell them that they cannot enter the room after the.
Yes. Please also realize when we go live, you cannot enter the room later than 10 to 15 minutes. So if you're trying to enter the room, when we send the link, please start trying. As soon as we go live, you can all get in. Please, you may have a hesitation of how many people are in. 400 to 500 people are already getting in and they are able to view the entire presentation. So if you are interrupted during your session, please hit the reconnect button on the top of the screen, the red button on the top of the screen. It will refresh your screen and reconnect immediately. Do not try to close the particular window or tab and try to log in again. You will generally not be permitted to log in again. If you're logging in late, it will say that the session has been expired. So please log in on time and be with us throughout the session for the feedback form, which will be posted in the last 10 minutes.
And there is also a humble request as a mediator. I request them not to put questions which are not connected to the webinar, because too much of comments and actual questions are disappearing in the chat box. So it's a humble request to all the participants.
Participants need not introduce yourselves in the chat box because we have records of who has come in and who has attended the session. So posting comments and things, you could do it in the feedback form. That will be a better way of communicating with us because we'll have those comments stored for us. I hope we are pretty clear to all the participants.
And another important announcement I want to make is the webinar jam is recording all your entry and exit. So you don't worry about your attendance. Your attendance, everyday attendance is recorded in the webinar jam and we will be monitoring through our Excel sheet. So don't bother about entering and exit. And your attendance will be monitored for all the sessions also. So please make it a point to attend all the sessions. Accordingly, the certificate will be generated. Though I made this announcement yesterday, I'm repeating it for the sake of other participants. Thank you for your cooperation.
Thank you.
And one last suggestion. Please allow us to conduct our webinar jam peacefully because when you're posting constant comments and reminders, it's disrupting our attention. So please refrain from unnecessary comments in the chat box as well as in the groups so we can focus on better conduction of the program.
Thank you, dear participants, for all your cooperation.
Feedback link has already been sent. In case people have not received it, I'm sending it again in the chat box.
You be on live for another 5 minutes.
Yes, ma'am.
Then you can close the session.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you all.